The sun glints off metal rails as families shuffle along the path, chattering and licking melting ice cream. Children press against glass, giggling as they watch the elephants sway under the soft hum of summer heat. But Amara, the oldest elephant in the zoo and its gentle matriarch, doesn't sway today. She lifts her trunk into the air, sniffing once, twice, then freezes. Her ears flare slightly, her massive feet shift. Visitors hardly notice her at first. But the moment her wide body lumbers across the exhibit line and onto the concrete walkway right in front of the gated exit, the crowd begins to stir. "Mama, why's the elephant out here?" a little girl whispers. Zookeepers notice immediately. They rush over, concern etched into their faces. "Amara, back inside," one of them calls, holding out a bunch of bananas like an offering. She doesn't move. Her dark eyes stay locked in one direction, toward the outer edge of the path, just beyond a cluster of decorative shrubs. The head keeper, Jonah, jogs over, radio in hand. "Did she slip past the barrier?" "No break in the fencing," someone replies. "She just walked over the trench like she was looking for something." Jonah frowns. Amara had never acted like this. She was calm, predictable, a rock among the herd. But now she stands firm, trunk low to the ground, body rigid like a wall between the crowd and something unseen. The other elephants have retreated into the background, huddled silently. The crowd starts to murmur. A few visitors back away. Others raise their phones. "We've got a situation at the eastern exit," Jonah says into his radio, eyes never leaving Amara. "She's blocking the walkway, won't respond to commands or food." "She's sick?" someone whispers nearby. But Jonah sees something else. Amara isn't distressed. She isn't aggressive. She's alert, watchful, protective. "Ma'am, please step back," another staff member calls to a woman reaching for her stroller. "We're closing this path for now." The elephant's gaze doesn't shift. She takes one heavy step forward and fans her ears. Not a threat, more like a signal. "She's guarding something," Jonah mutters. But what? A breeze picks up, rustling leaves along the edge of the path. Amara's trunk rises again, curling slightly, sensing. And still, she doesn't move. In the growing tension, the noises of the zoo fade. Visitors hold their breath. Cameras click. But Amara remains rooted, like a sentinel, a mystery wrapped in silence. Then, from somewhere behind the bushes near the pavement, a soft, almost imperceptible sound. A whimper. Jonah's head snaps toward it. His eyes widen. The elephant had already known. But what was hiding in the greenery behind her? And why was Amara trying to protect it? The path is now blocked off. Caution tape flutters in the breeze as zoo staff work quickly to reroute guests. Parents glance back nervously. Children peek around adults' legs to catch one last glimpse of the elephant who refuses to move. Amara hasn't shifted an inch. She stands like a statue at the exit, eyes fixed toward the bush at the edge of the path, ears flicking just slightly in the wind. Her trunk dangles low, but her stillness feels heavy, loaded with something no one can name yet. "Still no movement?" Jonah asks, approaching his team with furrowed brows. "Nothing," a keeper says, voice tight. "Not even when we brought out the apples." They had tried everything, her favorite snacks, calming vocal cues, even letting her see the rest of the herd behind the barrier. But Amara remained planted, like the ground itself, not scared, not angry, just present. And that's what unsettles Jonah most. He's seen elephants spooked. He's seen aggression. This is neither. It's focus. "She's trying to tell us something," he mutters. Meanwhile, whispers ripple through the crowd that's gathered beyond the cordoned path. Is she going to charge? What if she's sick? Is it a security breach? "No," Jonah says under his breath, eyes on her posture. "This isn't about us at all." He walks slowly toward the bush, keeping a wide berth from Amara's line of sight, careful not to trigger a reaction. She doesn't stop him. Her head turns just slightly as he approaches the greenery. That's the first movement she's made in 20 minutes. That's when Jonah hears it again, a soft cry. This time, unmistakable. He pushes the leaves aside and freezes. "Guys," his voice is barely above a whisper, "call first aid and security now." Lying just behind the shrub, nearly invisible beneath the thick leaves, is a toddler. His cheeks are dirty, his little hands clutching a fallen sippy cup. His eyes are wide, wet with tears. He looks no older than 2. Jonah gently kneels beside him, heart pounding. "Hey, little guy." The child whimpers. He's been out here a while. No adults in sight, no parent nearby. Behind him, Amara finally shifts, just one small step forward, as if she's been waiting for someone, anyone, to see what she already knew. "Oh my God," a keeper breathes. "She was protecting him." Gasps ripple through the staff. The elephant hadn't blocked the path out of fear. She had blocked it to shield the child, keeping him safe from being trampled in the waves of departing visitors. Her massive body, a silent barrier between chaos and the fragile life hiding beneath the leaves. For the first time since it all began, Jonah looks into her eyes and understands. She saw him before any of them did, and she never looked away. The toddler blinks up at Jonah, cheeks tear-streaked and trembling. Dirt is smudged across his forehead. His little fingers reach for the sippy cup beside him, but his grip is too weak. He looks exhausted, like he's been crying for hours. "Shh," Jonah whispers, scooping him gently into his arms. "You're safe now." He glances back toward Amara. She hasn't moved again, but her body seems to relax ever so slightly, as if she finally trusts that someone else has taken over. Jonah's voice crackles through the radio. "We found a child, male, maybe 2 years old. Alert medics and search security footage immediately." Around him, the staff stares in disbelief. Some gasp. One of the younger keepers covers her mouth with both hands. A nearby guest starts crying softly. "She knew," someone whispers. "She knew that baby was there this whole time." The realization crashes down like a wave. Amara wasn't being stubborn. She was standing guard. The bush where the toddler had been hiding sat right along the outbound path, exactly where visitors had been funneling through before Amara blocked the way. If she hadn't planted herself there, if she hadn't refused to move, the child might have been trampled without anyone noticing. More keepers arrive with warm blankets and a stretcher, gently checking the boy for injuries. Aside from scratches and dehydration, he seems okay. Fragile, scared, but okay. Then a voice cuts through the radio feed. "We found the mother. She's in the west courtyard, completely frantic." Jonah exhales deeply. Relief, maybe, but also heartbreak. He steps aside as the child is carried off for care, his little head resting against a keeper's shoulder. As he passes Amara, something strange happens. The elephant lets out a low, vibrating rumble, a deep, soft sound like thunder that never quite cracks. It's not aggressive, not sad, just acknowledgement. "She was never trying to stop us," Jonah says quietly. "She was trying to save him." And now, for the first time all day, Amara turns around and begins to walk, slowly, silently, back toward her herd. The path is open again, but no one moves, because now they understand. She wasn't the problem, she was the protector. A gate clatters open in the distance. Through the blur of zookeepers and confused guests, a woman sprints into view, hair disheveled, eyes wild with panic. She doesn't see the crowd. She doesn't hear the radios. She only sees the small figure wrapped in a towel being gently carried toward the med station. "David!" Her scream tears through the silence. The toddler lifts his head at the sound and lets out a hoarse cry. The mother drops to her knees mid-run, sobbing as the keeper places her son in her arms. "Oh my God, my baby, my baby." She presses him to her chest like she's afraid he might vanish again. She kisses his cheeks, his hair, his fingers, then clutches him so tightly it looks like she'll never let go. Everyone around them stands frozen. Behind the scene, Amara watches from her enclosure. Her body is still, but her gaze is steady. She lifts her trunk once, slowly, then lets it fall again. The mother sees her. She turns, still on her knees, her face streaked with tears, and looks at the elephant. Then she does something no one expects. She places her hand over her heart, breath trembling, and whispers, "Thank you." A few zookeepers lower their heads. One wipes a tear. Jonah stands quietly, a deep ache building in his chest. He knows what this was. This wasn't chance. It wasn't a fluke. Amara saw a vulnerable life left alone in a blind spot, and she made sure the world couldn't pass him by. A security staff member hands the mother a small bag, her phone, her purse, and the now infamous sippy cup. She nods in silent gratitude. One moment of distraction, one split second of miscommunication between parents at the cafe, and her world had nearly ended. But it hadn't, because a guardian with a heartbeat larger than anyone realized had stepped in, and now a child was safe. In the days that follow, the story explodes across every corner of the internet. "Elephant saves toddler at City Zoo" becomes the headline of the week. Videos taken by stunned guests go viral. Experts weigh in on elephant cognition. Some call it intuition, others call it empathy. A few say it's both. But those who were there don't need definitions. They only remember the stillness, the stare, the unshakable patience of an elephant who refused to let anyone pass, until the child was found. The zoo issues a statement. Then they install a small plaque near Amara's enclosure. "To Amara, protector of the forgotten." Visitors now stand longer at her habitat. Children wave. Parents clutch their kids just a little tighter. Some even cry. The mother visits weekly now, often with David perched on her hip. He giggles when he sees Amara. She lifts her trunk in return. She doesn't need a thank you. She already knows, because the child didn't need words. He needed someone to see him. And Amara didn't look away. Did this story touch your heart the way it did ours? Amara didn't roar. She didn't charge. She simply stood her ground, and in doing so, she may have saved a life. Moments like these remind us that animals see more than we think and feel more than we imagine. Have you ever witnessed an animal do something truly extraordinary? Tell us your story in the comments. We read every single one. And if this moment moved you, please take a second to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with someone who believes in the quiet power of love and instinct. Because sometimes the greatest heroes never speak a word.